Gonna make things better. We're all grateful.
I went on a little winning streak. Okay, here we are. Head on in, and my associate will help you get processed.
And don't forget to gear up. Good luck. Be careful, the package has a GPS tracker. Where it goes, the highwaymen follow. Bonne chance.
Thought you could take our gear, huh? Let's put him in the ground! Fuck this!
And let you experiment with different effects in combat. Trapping foes in a time-slowing bubble, for example, or freezing them in place with chained electricity. Enemies can also use augments, like these scientists who can heal their soldier buddies with augmented bullets, so you'll want to get a close look at who's carrying what and plan your strategy accordingly. In order to see what your enemies have equipped, you'll need your spyglass, which displays the stats, skills, and augments of other characters, as well as revealing more details about locations and points of interest, even from space. It's a key part of recruiting, too. Take a close look at an NPC with your spyglass, and you'll see if they have any skills worth adding to your space pirate crew. Of course, your crew isn't the only company you can bring along. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is an online game, and while you can play solo, co-op buddies can jump in or out at any time. You won't be tethered together either, and if you want to wander off and explore while another player does their own thing, you're free to do so. Welcome to Ganesha City, a dense, vertically built metropolis where the rich live at the top and the poor huddle in shanty towns built into the sides of the city's foundations. It's sprawling and richly detailed, and it's just one small corner of a moon called Soma, itself just a small piece of Beyond Good and Evil 2's gigantic open world. It's also built for aerial exploration, so in addition to your jetpack, you'll have access to a wide selection of flying vehicles. Any vehicle you see can be commandeered and driven, and they can all tune in to Radio Cheetah, a station by space pirates for space pirates. You'll also be able to fully customize your own rides, swapping out modules, wings, engines, equipment, and cosmetic options to tailor your machines to look good and hold their own in a fight. You'll need special equipment or skills to take on larger vessels, but your fighter ships are agile, able to execute barrel rolls, lock onto targets with homing missiles, and dogfight with police if you inadvertently break some city law like flying too close to a major tourist attraction or robbing a bank. And like your weapons, ships can be equipped with augments, enabling you to do things like firing healing missiles at your co-op partners. Your ships are also capable of hitting extreme speeds, covering thousands of kilometers in a matter of seconds. This is essential for getting around planets in a hurry, as well as for flying out into orbit to rendezvous with your mothership, a huge vessel that serves as your home base. Even out here in orbit, you can seamlessly transition from piloting a ship to spacewalking with a nano spacesuit to protect you from the vacuum. Popping out of the cockpit and into the cold abyss of space allows you to use your spyglass to investigate a planet, peering down at treasure-hiding geoglyphs, cities, and settlements, all of which are still buzzing with activity far below you, enabling your co-op partner to explore and interact normally with city life even when you're this far apart. Alternately, you can switch over to the Universe map, a fully 3D rendering of System 3 that can be zoomed in and out to give you an overview of everything from close-ups of a planet's surface to the continuously orbiting layout of the entire system. For more, watch the full Beyond Good and Evil 2 livestream linked in the description below. And to find out more as it develops, be sure to subscribe to this channel and visit us at news.ubisoft.com.
Long Super Wushu is all wonder. They can diffuse that sprite before it blows up in your face. Yes, you can do anything. Only the sky is the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end. In flames. For those that work metal, scrap from mech skronks like this are heavyweight. That's a jumbo puff with an appetite. Need no fuss. Better put it in before it ends our world.
By throwing tin cans to confuse enemies as to your whereabouts, allowing you to get close and execute a silent kill. If it's too difficult to approach from behind, a throwing knife will bring down sentries from range. If your presence is discovered, perhaps through a missed shot or by making too much noise and the alarm is raised, the game isn't over, but the rules have changed. Players will hear dynamic Even in such open environments, claustrophobic, close-quarters combat is never far away. Players will still experience the tense, frightening encounters that have made Metro what it is today. But these moments of pure, anxiety-inducing combat are seamlessly embedded into the wider, open levels. With Artyom and the Spartans a considerable distance from Moscow, they will start to discover how radiation has affected different life forms across the country. Humanimals are a new mutant to Exodus, fierce and unrelenting. The A-shot serves as an effective close-range weapon for this frantic, breathless type of gameplay, a marked distinction from more tactically demanding human encounters.
Sam, come here. Come in. Anna went off out those antennas some 200 meters from the Aurora. Alone? What the hell? And what did you all do? Artyom, get there on the double. Miller over and out.
Artyom's wife, Anna, the Spartan Order's top sniper, has gone missing, and players now have a new directive to find her. Mission updates will be marked on a player's map, a physicalized object that you can access at any time. Metro avoids the clutter of HUD and UI wherever possible, communicating all critical information through tangible, tactile objects to increase immersion. Whilst nighttime can provide cover, it brings its own set of challenges. A watchman on patrol can spell danger, and if not dealt with, it will call its pack to ambush you. And in a world rife with dangers, a more mysterious threat is that of the anomaly, a roaming electrical phenomena that expels radiation and will kill you if it gets too close.
And he's known as a samurai general. He really tests everything that you will have learned in the demo up to this point.
Got it.
He is very strong, he's very fast, and he has a huge moveset. And I want to try to take this guy on with my sword here.
Oh, nice.
So what you saw there was an example of something called Mikiri, and the idea behind that is that I dodge into his attack rather than away from his attack.
Got it.
So it rewards me for being aggressive.
Very cool. So you don't always want to be defensive. Sometimes
Exactly.
you gotta just dive right into the fray.
It feels like being aggressive in combat is kind of a theme with this game.
Yes, absolutely. You can be rewarded or you can be heavily penalized for being too aggressive. In this case, I'm trying to strike a friendly balance between the two.
Yeah, the death and resurrection mechanic is really interesting too. I'm sure that we'll see some of that later.
Oh, I can assure you, you will see the death mechanic, and it won't be by choice.
So what just happened is you sort of have been going on this back and forth with posturing, and now you just had that finisher move that knocked out one of his diamonds. So it's not quite just attacking, like you guys are sort of defending and doing a back and forth.
That's exactly what it is. It's a little bit of a dance, a bit of a tug of war. And the idea here is that I'm trying to break through his posture, and
Which
he's
is
trying to break
represented
through
at the
mine.
top of the screen there, that yellow bar.
Yes, precisely.
Nice.
He does not like you.
Almost. See, I would have gotten greedy there. I would have done the classic From Software thing and gotten killed right when I was about to kill the guy.
Yes, I do it all the time.
Oh,
Somehow I managed to stay strong.
very cool.
Nice work.
Thank you.
Man, you made short work of that guy.
So I was about to say, our protagonist has this prosthetic arm. You know, in the one hand, he always has the katana, but then on the other hand, he can sort of switch out different abilities. Very, very cool. We're about to see some of that here.
Yes. And what you'll also notice is that certain enemies are weak to certain prosthetic tools. That
So you
enemy,
have this axe out here.
yeah, he happens to be weak to swords, or I'm sorry, to axes, and you can cut through his shield like butter. If you don't do that, he will block nearly every attack that you throw at him.
Nice.
Interesting. So there's also a level of strategy of which attachment you want to use.
Bingo. And certain enemies, like this guy, are weak to a sword in the throat.
I think you were, one of the other tools you were using was that flame vent, I think it was called, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and that's how you lit your sword on fire.
Yep, I can light my sword on fire, I can light enemies on fire, I can kind of break them out of the attacks that they're performing, so there's a lot of different ways you can utilize it.
Nice.
Nice.
Now in this area, there's this big, angry-looking guy
Yeah,
attached to...
he looks angry.
Oh yeah, he's mad. He's really upset, I'm not sure why. Didn't have breakfast. And here in this area, I can jump right down. You can see off to the right-hand side, I can grapple up to this tree,
okay.
or
some
I can
sneaking.
take a sneaky, stealthy approach, which I'm going to do right now.
I'm a fan of that.
But in order to do that, I can't get caught.
Oh, careful.
Bye, sweet
So,
little old lady.
The sweet little old lady, she has a bell. She's not particularly dangerous, but we're not going to take any chances.
Oh! Bye, little old lady.
Well, so much for that.
She was more evil than you realize.
Oh, okay. She had it coming.
Trust me.
So these sculptor idols, they're sort of a checkpoint for you.
Yes, that's exactly what they are. They will also refill your healing gourd, which is the bottom right-hand corner of the screen there.
That is helpful. Good
So
to
there's
know.
some...
I think, you know, it was very important that it doesn't seem like a bunch of actors, you know, saying lines. It was all very incidental.
And we wanted the world to sort of reflect that as well. So you saw there that, Deacon broke into that emergency vehicle and found some supplies. So this is what we're calling our survival vision. So you saw that earlier when he was looking at Manny's bike on the ground. And it's just kind of a way of seeing tracks in the world and sort of imagining what might have happened. And here, I just wanted to point out that you're seeing in this part of the demo that there are freakers there. There weren't there before because it wasn't snowing. It was, and it was getting lighter out. It wasn't getting darker like it is. And so, it changes up the way you can play through the level.
And what is this?
We call this the meat wall.
The meat wall.
Yeah, and it's not just there, to make the guys who put them up to seem evil. They're there for a purpose because, again, freakers are living creatures. They eat. That's their primary thing. They want to eat. And so you hang these dead freakers up, and any freaker, rather than coming into their camp like you see here, they would actually
stop and snack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with this freaker that they've hung upside down. There's a bear trap underneath it, and they use that because a freaker will come, be attracted to the meat, and then hit that trap.
Interesting.
Another thing you just saw, by the way, is that tin can.
The tin can trap that you
that's an alarm that the marauders will put up. And this is, again, some of the things that marauder camps just do. And you find these marauder camps throughout the world. You'll find traps like that, and then if you're careful and you're paying attention, you can avoid them. Because in the first demo, Deacon didn't avoid it, and he set off that alarm.
Right. Now this is the same tactic that he used last time. Throws the rock to get someone to lure him over and have him step in the bear trap. But this one plays out a little bit differently than last time. One of the things that struck me, and we've talked about this obviously as we've shot, but there's an effort of the other marauders to get this guy to shut up, and he won't.
Yeah, and so in the first demo, Deacon's heading on down the trail, and you can hear that happening behind him.
Right.
And this time we're showing what happened. So, he's watching everybody react to this poor guy trapped in in that bear trap, and she just is like, shut up, shut up, shut up, and then just loses it and shoots the guy.
Right.
And of course, in the meantime, Deacon, is crafting a Molotov and just takes them all out.
Right. Oh boy, that's good. Ow.
So again, it's like in the previous demo, Deacon would have gone off to the trail down to the right. This time he's going to head this way. He follows the tracks, and comes under a sniper attack.
Now let me ask you something about the survival. Okay, there's a sniper attack coming, but the survival vision is, if you don't say upgrade your survival vision, can you miss clues? I mean, are there things that you would get if you upgraded your survival vision that would help you complete the mission better?
Exactly, and you have to, we have a whole skill tree, and it's all tied to the experience that you can earn as you're just playing through the game, and then you can upgrade those things.
What's happening here? We got a freaker tied to a tree.
Yeah, so this is another type of trap that marauders will set. They will set, they will basically chain freakers to the perimeter of their camps, and they use them as kind of an alarm system. And then that, you saw that marauder there. He was just tormenting the poor freaker, and then so Deacon kind of takes advantage of that.
Well, and you think for a moment that Deacon is the guy, he's sort of helping the freaker by, getting the guy that taunted him. Is like, no, and then he's going to take the freaker out right afterward.
Exactly.
And this is a bit of silent sniping using the crossbow.
Yeah, so this whole sequence at the end plays out very differently. In the first demo, you saw Deacon use a swarm. He weaponized a swarm, lured them into the camp, and then they kind of did the work for him. There's no swarm in this run-through. Right. So the player really has to go in and use what we're calling our strategic sandbox combat, and that's just, stealth mechanics and setting and using traps, whole arsenal of weapons. You see there's a variety of weapons that Deacon's going to use through this, including the crossbow. He crafts his own bolts. And he's got to figure out how to get up to Manny, just using his combat skills instead of doing it strategically.
So straighten me out. Those bonfires, were those there in the previous demo?
No, they weren't. Right. So that's another big difference. Is that if you come here during the day, it's like in the media showcase demo, there was like kind of a fight club thing going on.
Right.
They were punching each other, and everybody was just sort of getting into it. Nobody's really paying attention to what's going on. Yeah. And now it's getting dark and it's cold out. So they've built these bonfires. So. And again, it's not just a cosmetic change in the way the...
Well, it's cold, right?
Yeah, it's because it's cold.
They have to build some...
So it changes the way the marauders behave in the level.
Well, that's very... Again, this is part of the reason why I love that you did this as a demo, because the behavior of all of these things, not just the freakers, but the marauders, everything, there's a logic to it. You can track why they're doing the things that they're doing. And you can use it to your advantage in the gameplay. That's kind of what I like about this so much.
And that's really what we wanted to showcase this year, is that it's an open world game, And, you know, everything you see around here, and again, we're only playing this 2 different ways. You saw that waterfall way up there off in the distance. There's a bridge that goes in front of that. If you had a sniper rifle and enough ammunition, you could have driven your bike all the way up there. There's trails that go all the way up there, and you could have used your sniper rifle to take out this entire camp, because it would have taken them a while to figure out where the shots were coming from and to get to you. So, you know, that's a different way to play. There's another way to play, by the way, where you could have just stealthed in through the entire camp if you had the skills to do it. And you could have just taken everybody out silently, or almost everybody. And then you could have gotten up to where Manny's being held using a different route and, you know, just stealth killed that guy. There's no reason that you have to come in and run and gun it like Deacon is doing here.
Hey, how scarce is ammunition? Because I see him switching from a bunch of weapons, and when we saw this demo, when I came in and saw D3, one of the things that I really enjoyed was I was sitting next to you, and the driver was playing the game, and at some point I saw you shift in your chair and you leaned forward, and I heard you say, "Oh man, uh-oh." And I'm like, "Whoa, what's going on?" He's like, "He's gonna get killed." I'm like, "Whoa, oh!" And I leaned forward. I was like, "Oh, I guess there's some real danger." And one of the things was that he was running out of ammunition, and he was trying to go pick up ammo from the dead.
You are a warrior. I can see that. You trained your whole life for this. And you have won battles that lesser men have called unwinnable, yes? But while you were sharpening your sword, do you know how I prepared for today? I learned. I know your language, your traditions, your beliefs, which villages to tame and which to burn. So I'll ask you once again, Samurai, do you surrender?
No biggie. We can always tweak the rules a bit. Hungry. All you gotta do to make it out alive is not get eaten. Sound like fun? Of course it does.
Dying Light 2 features a functioning ecosystem that reacts on multiple levels to the things you do and the choices you make. In the example we're about to show you, our protagonist undertakes a mission for the Peacekeepers, one of the many factions active in the city. They want you to negotiate with 2 survivors who are controlling and hoarding a water supply.
Are you going to insult us with another final offer?
Let's say you choose to carry out the Peacekeepers' orders, one way or another. Stay back! After this, you'll start seeing a significant change in the city, as access to the water supply has allowed the Peacekeepers to bring stability and develop the area. There's even running water for the people at street level.
Running water?
and that raises their morale and allows you to replenish your energy on the go. But there's a cost to this. The PKs have a rigid approach to law and order. So while the streets may be safer, it's only safe for those who side with them. So if you get on their bad side... Now let's return to that moment of choice. And instead of killing them, you choose to team up with this group to supply water in the black market. As you will see, this creates a very different set of consequences for the city. With water being a precious currency, it brings you access to new resources and trade. But this in turn attracts the worst type of people to the area. And this is just a single decision, one out of hundreds you'll have to make. But it allows you to carve out your own world, your own city from the apocalypse. Each player's game experience will be unique. And by the way, this is just what happens in the day. At night, well, things tend to get a lot darker.
Este pendejo. Hey, carnal! Hey, you got a problem?
This guy looks an awful lot like one of those scavengers we took out earlier.
Something tells me that wasn't no coincidence, huh?
Jackie's car is a super-powered sports car running on Chew-2, the super fuel of the future. Players can explore Night City freely, in many different cars, on bikes, and in other types of vehicles.
This does not look good. Puta madre!
Grab the wheel, Jack!
Oh, fuck!
It looks like the scavengers from earlier are still angry.
They're pulling ahead, Heiner! Watch it now!
Yeah, gotta do this. But don't you move a damn muscle. Not unless I start, that is.
These guys are levels higher than we are. Let's try to approach them carefully.
Stout, take it you were the one to call?
Yep. Wanted... Think you're smart? Thought you could blackmail me, bitch? Set conditions? Calm the hell down! What is this?
I've got you now, asshole!
You're insane! Who the fuck is this?
I'll know in 2 seconds flat. That fucking thing ready?
All set.
Are you here alone?
The Corpos have hacked us through our personal link and have subjected us to a kind of lie detector program. The dialogue system in Cyberpunk 2077 is fully gameplay driven.
I asked if you came alone!
Yep, just little old me.
She's lying.
Search the area.
Now listen, folks, we don't need to be here all day. This piece of shit, Anthony Gilchrist, did he or another asshole at Militech leak info to you or anyone else about a convoy?
It might be tempting to reach for the gun, but the consequences could be dire.
Got nothing to do with him or
Remember,
Militech.
these guys are really tough.
Shit. Checks out. You got nothing on me! Nothing! Won't get away with this, you bitch! You're dead!
Somebody shut him up.
Take me home! Now!
Its actuators are actually pimped with titanium fiber, and it can go anywhere, literally. Watch this. Fully integrated link, too, so when the spider starts crawling up walls, dangling from ceilings, you could lose your lunch. So, what you think?
Pay up and let's get the fuck out of here.
The bot. I'll take it.
2 questions. What the fuck's going on? And who the fuck is this?
Got 50 large on this cred ship.
And you positively reek of Militech.
Dexter Deshawn sent me.
Dexter Deshawn. Dreads. Gold plate. Fat old fuck. That him?
We'll pay for the bot and be on our way.
How much you say you had? 50K?
Cred's on this.
Move it.
Woo! Not the smoothest of deals, but it worked out in the end, right? Flathead's good gear. It'll do the trick. Whatever that trick is.
Shit. Shit, shit, shit!
It turns out the cred chip we got from the Militech agent contained a virus which fried their system.
Virus must have tripped the security.
Royce, their leader, is making a break for it.
Militech had to end this way.
Before we figure out a way to leave, let's grab the splinter that controls the bot from one of these dead maelstromers. The inspection system allows us to take a closer look at the splinter. You can inspect specific items to reveal details that can help in solving quests. Okay, let's equip the splinter to our chipware slot. With this done, the bot will now follow us wherever we go. All right, what else do we have here? Nice! A street-modified tech shotgun. Tech weapons fire rounds that penetrate walls and other types of cover. They also have an alternate fire mode that allows you to power up shots and deal more.